Are trophies worth your time? This is a question that I've grappled with over the years, and my answer has changed multiple times. In fact, if you look at my trophy list, you'll see that there are times, like when I first got a PS3, that I was all in on trophies and completing games. But then as I tapered off from gaming as a whole, my enthusiasm for trophies waned along with it. This didn't really change for me again until this year, when I went all in again on trophies, and have even played some games that seem to only exist for the sake of giving you trophies, because I'm curious as to what developers are putting out around this concept and whether they are worth your time, despite them really only existing to increase your virtual trophy collection. So I guess to really explore this, we should look at what trophies even are. Well, the honest answer is that trophies are PlayStation's answers to achievements on Xbox. That is to say that they are a little digital badge that you get that says you did something in the game that you're playing. They don't actually do anything for you or have any value outside of something that you and others can look at to see that you did something. Although, at one point they did, and I'll come back to that in a little bit. Now, PlayStation did do something a little bit more interesting with this concept. While on Xbox, achievements are all points based, your gamer score, as they call it, is nothing more than a number that doesn't mean anything until you dig into what those points come from. For example, a typical achievement is worth 5 or 10 gamer score, and larger ones can go up to a few hundred gamer score. A completed game is usually worth 1,000 gamer score. However, if you look at a player's profile, you will initially see just the total of all their gamer score added up into one number. I would argue that this doesn't tell you anything about the player at all, except how many games they probably play, but even then, it's a total guess. Really, you're going to end up diving into their profile and seeing what they play for their achievements to mean anything to you at all. In contrast, PlayStation breaks down trophies into tiers. Bronze is the lowest, followed by silver, gold, and when you collect all other trophies in the game, you get the platinum trophy. These trophies all have a hidden value associated with them. Bronze are 15, silver 30, gold 90, and platinum 180. These points then accumulate into your player's level, which goes up after you gain a certain amount of these points. So, when you look at a PlayStation player's profile, you can see their level to get an indication of how many games they tend to play, and a breakdown of how many of each kind of trophy they have to see where they came from. This tells you a lot about their play habits, whether they tend to complete games or not, and you can dive deeper into their profile to see exactly which games they play if you want to do that. Now, with all this being said, I'm not saying that PlayStation is better than Xbox because of this. I'm just pointing out that they are very different in how they handle this virtual bling, and in my opinion, the trophy system is a bit more interesting than achievements. But the question still remains, who actually cares? Well, to tell the truth, a lot of people do. I've spoken to people who will outright refuse to play a game because of the trophies it has. There are people that have totally separate accounts for games they wish to complete and others that they don't. For me, I just play the games I want to play, how I want to play them, and my trophy list reflects that. If you were to go through my trophies right now, you would see that I have 31 platinum trophies, but there are a number of other games I could have finished if I had wanted to, or games that I haven't finished because it's no longer possible due to online servers being shut down. But you would also see games that I whizzed through without a single care given to trophies. I beat the story of the games and moved on to the next one. Sometimes that's all I want to do. Now, the reason I bring this up, and what gave me the idea for this video, is two games that I played recently. The Last of Us Part 2, which if you're curious about my thoughts on that game, you can check out the link in the description below, or hit the card that's on screen right now. And Final Fantasy VII Remake. The reason these two in particular got me thinking is that for me, they're at two ends of the spectrum. The Last of Us is a game that, were it not incredibly easy to get the Platinum Trophy, I probably would not have done so. On the other hand, Final Fantasy VII Remake is a game that I really wanted to get the Platinum Trophy in, but the game is so difficult for me, and the way that I play games like that I gave up on getting not only the Platinum, but the rest of the very obtainable trophies in the game because it wasn't worth it for me anymore. In the past, I've considered getting the Platinum for a game sort of an endorsement of that game. I do it because I really enjoy the game and it deserves to be completed in my mind. But there are games that I feel this way about that have such absurd trophy lists that I just don't bother. A good example of this is actually the first Last of Us game. I love that game to pieces, but the trophy list is very difficult. That includes multiple playthroughs, multiplayer trophies, which, by the way, are particularly problematic for trophy hunters because of things like server closures and general length or luck involved with getting said trophies, and very high difficulty trophies. All three of these are strikes against me going for it in that game. There are a couple of things that I would implement into the trophy system to make it a more enjoyable experience for me, and I'm sure that some of you can relate. First is the ability to delete trophies. Now, I know you can delete a game that has no trophies, and you can hide the ones that do, but this doesn't actually address the problem. And if I'm being honest, the hiding system is a clunky mess anyway. What I, and I'm sure others, really want is a way to remove a game and all associated trophies from your list entirely. Of course, this introduces a host of issues, not the least of which is the fact that someone could potentially jump onto your profile and delete your trophies if your back is turned or something. And I know they would have to recalc your rank every time you do this, but regardless, I think this is something that I and many others who enjoy trophies would appreciate. Not having to worry about what the trophy list contains and being able to remove games that I just didn't jive with, but accidentally got a "you started the game" trophy would be a godsend to the system. Beyond that, PlayStation used to have a system where they would give you tangible points for your trophies that you could turn in for prizes. They did away with this system in late 2019, most likely because not enough people were utilizing it, and also because of the games like My Name is Mayo, which is a really easy way to get a bunch of trophies in no time flat, ruining the entire system. This latter point actually speaks to a problem with the curation on the PlayStation Store, but that's a topic for another video entirely. The other thing that really bothers me about the trophy system is the way that DLC trophies are lumped into a game's base trophies. So you can have 100% or a platinum trophy only for them to turn around and add DLC and ruin your completed game. Some way to separate these trophies from the base game so you can keep it clean if you never play DLC like myself would be a godsend. What I'm trying to say is that I really enjoy the trophy system sometimes. Sometimes I wish I could make it so I don't earn trophies for a game or could remove them so I can enjoy the game without the knowledge in the back of my head that I'm going to be sitting on a 1% trophy list on my profile. There are games like Aliens vs. Predator that I played back when I first got a PS3 because it sounded like fun that turned out to be absolutely terrible that I really wish I could delete from my profile entirely. But because I got one of those early game gimme trophies, I never will be able to. On second thought, this is actually an advantage to the way the Xbox does it. Because they only work in points, the percentage and the lack of platinum trophies didn't hurt my sense of completion anywhere near as much as they do on PlayStation. However, for me, I really enjoy the sense of accomplishment I get from a platinum trophy, more than just seeing 1,000 gamer score for a completed game on Xbox. So I think, for me, that's a trade worth making. However, that's just me. Lots of people have a deep love for the trophy system. There are websites whose sole purpose is to track and help you obtain trophies and achievements. In fact, if you go to PSN profiles and look at the top trophy earners, the number one spot is held by someone with over 2,500 platinum trophies, which, when you crunch the numbers, comes out to about a platinum trophy every other day since trophies were even introduced. In the end, I think trophies certainly have their place and enhance the experience for some. If you find that going for trophies is something that makes a game fun for you, then I think that's awesome and more power to you. But for me, I like that there's still a platform out there in the Nintendo Switch with no trophies at all, so I can play those games however I want, whenever I want, and never have additional thoughts about these virtual collectibles in the back of my mind. I just play the game just like I did back before trophies were even a thing. But what do you think? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. Check out some of our other videos. Hit those links in the description, and as always, have fun out there.